Hi everyone, I'm Donna Norris, Soul Level Intuitive.
Hi, and I'm Bree Swanson at Small Medium at Large.
Welcome to my channel. We hope you like what you're getting with all these wonderful crystal videos. So please, if you are enjoying them, hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends. We'll try to grow our channel and our outreach, and we can do even more. So with that being said, we're doing video number 3 in a 4-video series on ways to enhance your psychic connections. So these are going to be great booster crystals that you can use to enhance your intuitive abilities and bring your psychic skills to the next level. We're going to be talking a lot about which of the clairs that each stone works with. Also, like which chakras that they resonate most closely with, which psychic properties that they're known for, how each of one of us works with them in readings or in meditations or healings. Mostly we're going to stick to the psychic aspects of it though. And then other stones that we know of that go well together and complement each of the stones. So we'll be pairing them up with others. Okay.
And then we're also going to be sharing about how often they should be charged, cleared, or cleansed, depending on how you look at it. So you'll have everything you need in order to get started with them. And then we're also going to talk about the do's and don'ts as far as, I guess what you should probably do with them and what you shouldn't do with them. And I know I just said that, but we're going to, in terms of the don'ts too, I guess we're also going to be talking about, you know, don't ever submerge your crystals if you don't know what they do, because some of them become brittle or they deteriorate, and like other unpleasant things happen with your crystals. So I guess, and don't ever eat your crystals. But yeah, it's just, I
Crystal
guess the
tastings are not.
the main thing is just do your research and we'll help you out.
We'll give you everything you need. Just stick with what we tell you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so these are not a magic bullet. So it's not going to make you instantly psychic if you're not, but they are going to really help enhance the energy of your space and the energy of your readings if you do readings. And I think also, help kind of add to the frequency and to the energetic picking up the things that you do pick up when you're doing psychic connections. So with that, we will get started.
With a heavy hitter too.
I mean, this is like the big one, the
Yeah.
biggie.
Yeah. All right. So we've got Moldavite, which I've got it here. I've got it here in a
Yes.
bracelet.
You can see, you can see through it. This is a moldavite stone that I've got. It's kind of rough, where,
Mhm.
as opposed to the, really pretty polished bead that
Yeah.
Bree has. If you hold this to the light, you can see through it, just like you can see through those beads. But
Mhm.
it's actually a meteor that crashed about 15 million years ago, but it's an old meteorite thing. So it's only found in one spot. And I have it in a ring too. It looks just like dark green
Mhm.
until the light shines through it, and then it's a lot paler green. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Um, but it had, at least in terms of like the psychic stones, and this being a really great psychic stone, it relates a lot to telepathy, and other really interesting clairs that start opening up for you. I almost
Yeah.
describe it as like the roller coaster stone, because like it'll take you on a wild ride, like the most chaotic wild ride you could have ever imagined, but you'll come out of it so much stronger, and you'll realize that what just happened was actually a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah. If you've ever experienced like a spontaneous up leveling, this can be a lot like that for you. It works with all the clairs. It works with the heart closely, but it activates all the chakras as well. So it just has this really powerful energy that expands your channeling, as Bree said, your telepathy. It also kind of helps you to align your energy with your higher self, you know, to kind of open that channel wide open. And also helps you to really, at least for me, to be able to discern really clearly messages from the higher realms and from other realms. So also a lot of people when they first work with Moldavite, I don't know if you've heard about this, Brie, but you feel heat. Like this charm, you wear it, you know, wear it on my chest. This is the very first piece I ever got, and I put it on my chest and I was like, I was wearing it around the rest of the gym show and I had to take it off. I mean, it's like hot. I kept looking and do I have a red spot? I didn't have a red spot. There's a lot of warmth and a lot of heat. So until your body aligns and ascends to the frequency of this stone, you know, you may feel it. People also talk about like tingling fingers and tingling digits too.
Yeah.
It's an amazing stone, but it really will transform your psychic abilities if you're attuned to it, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a great one. Also, just wanted to let you know it works well with a lot of other stones, a lot of other crystals. You know, if you pair that with moldavite, it'll help boost that other stone. But moldavite stands all on its own. It doesn't need a helper.
Yeah.
You could put it with other things, but it's going to hold its own.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the bracelet that I have is the 7 stones that Dolores Cannon said that light workers should have with them at all times. Doesn't mean you absolutely need to have them, but I heard it from her and the message really, you know, resonated. So it had, at least with this bracelet, it has moldavite, citrine, black tourmaline, selenite, amethyst, labradorite, and blue lace agate.
Very nice. Awesome. And by the way, if you're interested in buying one of these or having a bracelet like this for yourself, you can email Brie at the email address that's listed in the description of this video, and she can send it to you.
Yes. Yes. I mean, the bracelet is pretty pricey because this is authentic moldavite. I make sure I go through all of my people and I get the real good stuff.
Good. Good. Well, how much is that one, if you don't mind me asking?
I want to say it's like I need a double check because I have it all written down, but from memory it was either like $200 or $300.
Okay. Well, just email Brie.
It's up there.
Doesn't cost
it's
anything.
Up there.
Yeah. So anyway, if you get dizzy, if you start to feel sick when you're using it, you might want to take it off and just kind of have it in your space as you slowly attune to it. You may not attune to it super quickly. So just, you know, sometimes you have to crab up to it sideways until you get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for cleaning it, I recommend, for me, I sage it, smudge it with a sage stick, you know, waft it in sage smoke. And you can also put it on a selenite charging plate. So it's a great charger of other crystals. So that's a good way to do it too. Do you have a different way to clean yours, or
I love my big old selenite bowls. I've got little ones and I also have big ones too. And I just, you know, at the end of the day, just take it off, put it in there, done.
Yeah. It's sort of like having one of those phone chargers where you just lay your phone down and it charges. You don't have to plug it into anything, you know, kind of like that. Yeah, selenite's the best.
Yeah.
So let's move on. The next one is a really good all-purpose stone. It's also strong, and it's also beautiful, and it's turquoise, right? Turquoise comes in greens and blues, and some like this one have iron ore running through them. Look at that brilliant blue one that Bree's got. Totally different than this, but they have the same energetic properties. Isn't that wild?
And it's interesting because I know with turquoise, you can actually use like nail polish remover, and if it comes off, then that's fake turquoise. But this I got from because my grandmother, she collected crystals, and this is the real deal. This is not dyed.
That's beautiful.
I tested it. It's real.
So turquoise works with clairsentience, which is clear feeling, also clairvoyance, and it works with your throat chakra a lot. So does it work with any other chakras when you use it? I mean, for me, it's about the throat and being able to say.
Yeah. I mean, with me, because it is so deeply connected with the throat chakra.
Mhm.
But I also feel like it enhances clairaudience as well.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
it's in the same region, but it's like, oh, there we go. Um, I feel like this is actually, in terms of like an ancestor altar, which I think we had interest in, creating a class, doing all that stuff. This is beautiful to put on your ancestor altar and connecting with those before you and getting their help and their guidance and all of that good stuff. So this is beautiful place on there.
It's great. And it talks a lot about it's an ancient stone. It's been used for thousands and thousands of years, a stone of protection, also a stone of ancestry. It helps you bring up all of your life's experiences and come to a place of acceptance, not just your present life, but your past life, to just sort of come to a sense of acceptance and wisdom. Because, all of our experiences, whether they're good or they're bad, our soul doesn't care. Experience is experience. And, the things that are painful sometimes bring the most wisdom, right? And
Mm-hmm.
turquoise represents a lot of that and helps bring those kinds of aspects out in a reading when I'm using it and wearing it. But,
Mm-hmm.
it helps everybody keep things in perspective. Your client on the receiving end of whatever your message you're conveying, it helps them understand that as far as spirit's concerned, it's all good, you know.
And it's
They're
good
just
for,
another experience.
yeah. And it's good
So,
for your throat too. Like being able to communicate what you need to your clients with ease. So, yeah.
and it encourages you to honor yourself. Each one of us is a unique expression of the divine creator. And so turquoise is all about honoring that, kind of getting back to what you were talking about with your ancestral roots and stuff. So
Yeah.
love that. And the gift of communication, helps you, sorry, communicate effectively. It's odd that my throat goes out when we're talking about a throat chakra stone, right? But it helps you to share whatever insights you get with others in a very effective way. So as far as like what it works well with together, um, any kind of calcite comes in a lot of different colors. Azurite, it's a deep blue stone, also really good for the upper clairs. Malachite is a really good one. We've talked about that one already. Chrysocolla and Larimar. It
Mm-hmm.
really pairs well with a Larimar. It can get wet, but it's best to clean it. If you're going to do it in soapy water, always use non-abrasive soap, and then rinse it off and dry it when you're done. Yeah, that's pretty much. Do you have any other things on turquoise that you wanted to go over? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I know that we mentioned too with turquoise, it's highly protective, and it's just something that I highly recommend.
Yeah, do you set it in your space to protect your space?
Yeah,
Like
I actually use it like near my bed too as I'm sleeping. So I have
mm-hmm.
that there, and then I have some on my altar, and then I have some that like I'll go ahead and pull out for readings and stuff.
Yeah, for those of you who are just getting into crystals, a lot of people who do readings, we stay kind of semi-open. And when you're sleeping, you're at your most vulnerable. So having a protection stone by your bed is really not a bad idea at all. If you're going to get into doing this kind of work, find the one that works best for you and keep a psychic protection stone by your bed.
Yeah.
Good idea. So next is the Labradorite.
Ooh, I love that.
It is so pretty. It's a beautiful feldspar stone that has all these different colors in it. I mean, I've heard it called magician stone. I've heard it called peacock stone. See, this one's got blue when you turn it, then green, different things.
Lots of colors on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got one. It's got a kind of, I don't,
Yeah,
oh, there you can see the blue flash. It's got a solid blue flash on that one.
really pretty. Yeah, this one's got a really deep blue flash as well. And then I've got it in a faceted stone. These are all smooth stones that we've shown you, but you can get it in faceted, and it does tend to help it flash some of the purple. This has got a little purple in it, which is kind of uncommon, and I like it for that reason. It's
Yeah.
not like all the rest of them, but it
Yeah.
works really well with clairvoyance, telepathy again, also clairaudience, and claircognizance, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And it comes in any color of the rainbow too, like reds, orange flashes, yellow flashes,
gold, green. I
green,
mean, some of
blue,
them are just
purple, pink.
amazing. Yeah, I could just stand and stare at a display of it for a long time. It's hard for me to ever try to pick one. I'd love the ones I have, but I can always use another one. Anyway, but it does work with the third eye and the ear as before, and also with the hands. And I think it's because of the healing aspect, that it works with the hands. They're not one of the major chakras, but it does tend to affect the hands.
Yeah.
So it's a really good psychic stone to kind of help you just intuitively feel and know psychic awareness. It's hard to describe, where you just kind of get in the zone and you get downloads of information. And that's what claircognizance is really all about. You just kind of all of a sudden you know something that you didn't know 5 minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
Certainly about
Yeah.
somebody you never met before. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Still blows my mind when that happens.
Yeah. It's honestly, I feel like it's a staple, especially if you're working as a psychic, medium, light worker, whatever you do. And honestly, I feel like it's a great stone for just healing the body too. I know plenty of people who, I've recommended this stone to, and they have absolutely no interest in doing like the light worker stuff. They just like the stones, and they're like, okay. So it's still great. It has so much magic and inspiration within it, and it's just like a rainbow wave of like downloaded information into your brain like that,
It's supposed to, awaken the innate magic in all of us. We all have intuitive abilities. It's just a matter of whether you exercise those muscles and build those abilities, build those skills. But it's supposed to help really awaken it in anybody who carries it or wears it. So I really like that you can also use it if you want to try to get into astral travel. That's a kind of a psychic technique that, we'll talk about in another video probably, but they're really good to use for astral travel. And it can help you like see in the past, pick up things from people's past, also as well as the present, and even forward into the future. So it's a really great timeline stone for that. Let's see, what does it pair well with? I cannot memorize all these, so I'm just going to go through my.
It does really well with like moonstone and sunstone.
Yeah.
And even amethyst, it pairs beautifully with that. It also pairs really well with, I just feel like it pairs really well with citrine too.
And spectralite, the TV stone. Yeah, spectralite's another one. So yeah, if you want to work on Akashic Records readings, this would be a good stone to have, since it does kind of help with that part of accessing, communicating with higher beings, things of that sort. As far as cleansing it, it's a softer stone. Again, it ends in ite. And as Brie has said before, if it ends in ite, don't get it wet. Avoid getting it wet.
Or at least try not to like completely submerge it and leave it there, because it's not a good situation.
These are beautiful lustrous stones, and it can cause them to lose their color, lose their luster. It can make them brittle, so that if you just bump it, it's going to break. You have to be, just water's not a good one for this. So I like to use mine, recharge mine and clean it and recharge it in moonlight. I just set that intention when I set it out. You just, as you're working with these, whenever you're cleaning them, if you are doing it for the purpose of cleansing it, say that intention as you're working with the stone and as you're cleansing it. And then if you want to use it to enhance your psychic connection after it's clean, you know, then you charge it and imbue it with that intention. And that's really how you work with these stones. It's not a matter of just putting it on or setting it in your space to do readings. You want to talk to it, you know, talk
And
to your
building a
guide.
relation and
Yeah,
building a
ask for that.
relationship with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's your energy connecting with the energy of the stone. So just tell it how it can help you.
Yeah.
Ask for what you need, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this is a beautiful one too. At least for me, when I'm cleansing it, I love doing sound cleansing with this one. I feel like it responds really well to that. Um, and it's just, yeah, it's one of those that, like, you know, I just put it down. I just use my my crystal bowls, and I'll just have it there, and it's almost like a download for the for the thing that gives me a download.
But it doesn't take long. It doesn't have to be, you know, an hour's worth of music or an hour's worth of sound. It doesn't take long. So, okay. So we've got one more in this video, and it is the one we keep talking about. It's selenite. It's the one that it works really well on its own. It has its own magical abilities, but it charges other stones. It's just terrific. Ah, look at that one.
Selenite heart.
Yeah. And a lot of us who are energy workers, you know, we have a wand, and I work with my wand when I'm doing Reiki healing. And so it comes also in lamps. You'll see selenite towers. I've got one in the other room, but I didn't want to disconnect it. So they're beautiful. You can put a little bottom light under them and they just glow. They're gorgeous. Then I also have like this stick, and as if you look at it closely, you can kind of see it's got striations in it. It's like fibrous. So it's really good for also clairvoyance and claircognizance. And it works with the upper chakras, the third eye, the crown, and even the chakras above your head, the etheric chakras. So this is a great stone for opening these chakras up and clearing your auric field, clearing the auric field of the crystals that you want to cleanse with it. And it just sort of like, if you're working with it as an energy worker, if you just want to work on yourself, you can take it around your energetic body and it smooths out the rough patches in your auric field and just kind of soothes and protects your aura.
And kind of like go like you're brushing your aura out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. You know, it's sort of like the tofu of stones too. It just sort of amplifies the energy of whatever you put it in. You know how like tofu will take on the flavor of whatever you cook with it? That's kind of what this does. It's like an amp for whatever.
Yeah.
But it also dissolves blockages. That's one of its main powers. If you're doing that, you know, cleanse your field, it can dissolve blockages. It can help dissolve blockages in other people too. Like if you're in the energy of giving a reading, and you can actually energetically, in the same way that we energetically connect with people's loved ones or people's guides, we can send the energy of this crystal through the reading to work with our client and dissolve blockages for them too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's quite high high can't talk today. It's quite high frequency. I almost want to say there's an angelic connection that's associated with selenite. It's, yeah, it really does a lot. And it's definitely a staple.
I have a Reiki list where I send distance Reiki every day to my clients. And by the way, if you'd like to be on that list for emotional, physical, spiritual healing, just email me at connect@donnanorris.net. It's in the description of the video too. And I'll put you on my Reiki list. But this sets with it and enforces and, you know, underscores all of my Reiki intentions that I'm sending out. So gives my Reiki a power boost. So, what else do I want to say about it? The go-to way of charging it is definitely nothing with water. I use a sage stick. I use sound. Yeah, Palo Santo is a great one to waft smoke as well as sage. If you don't like the smell of sage, but
Yeah.
How do you do yours? More with sound again, since it's a
More with
selenite?
sound, and then I also like to sage this one. Really get it cleaned out because it does so much cleaning
Yeah,
itself. And I'm like, okay, let's bring out the big, let's bring out the big guns. Let's like, let's use
yeah.
smoke.
It's busy absorbing things, smoothing things out, to getting it, pulling all the toxins out. And so it's really porous.
Mhm.
These are fibers. And so you really don't want to get them wet. I know people talk about, oh, I leave mine wet all the time. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. I think it weakens it. So better to avoid water. So what we'll do now is let's just go through some of those good all-purpose ways that you can clean any crystal. Um, we've already talked about wafting sage or Palo Santo smoke. We've
Mhm.
talked about
The
selenite bowl.
selenite bowls and the tuning forks. There's those two that's also very sound based.
Yeah, you can also use, some people have Tibetan bowls,
Yep.
Tibetan
Metal.
sage.
Yep.
I'm not holding it right or it would make a prettier sound, but it works well too. And then if you like to just listen to background music while you're working, or if you want to leave this on when you get ready to leave the house and you want to charge your crystals while you're gone, you can go to YouTube and turn on 417 Solfeggio frequency, which is love. I think that's the love frequency. And then the protection one of 528. Maybe that's vice versa. I may have those backwards. But that
528 for
is
some
great
people.
frequency music to clear all the crystals and really reset the energy in your whole house. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Some people like to bury their crystals in the earth overnight or for a couple of days. If you do that, please put out a marker. I just can't trust myself, not to figure where I put them.
Or put them
So
in a specific pot, maybe.
yeah, yeah. You can set them in a windowsill. You can set them outside. You can, for the moonlight or the sunlight. I try not to leave my stones in direct sunlight all the time because they will fade. Even the harder stones will fade over time if you leave them in direct sun. So, what was the other thing I wanted to mention?
The ultrasonic cleaners.
Yes, oh my gosh, yes. You go to the jewelry store and you get that real pretty jewelry and they send you home, with the thing and you supposedly just plunk the necklace in there and it cleanses,
The
the
big
diamonds and
machine,
the
you hook it
metal.
up.
Yeah, it's good for diamonds because they have a hardness. They're like at 9, 10 on the hardness scale, but it's not really good for anything below a 9, and
Mhm.
it can damage your crystals. So I don't recommend any kind of ultrasonic cleanser, certainly not any kind of abrasive cleanser. So stay away from the jewelry cleaning machines. Those are not great for these kinds of stones.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's it for this one. We will be back with the last in our series, and we hope you're enjoying this. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, and we'll be back soon. Bye for now.
Bye.